Hi everyone, welcome to the video introduction for Friday, May 1st. Today we're going to be reading Chapter 8, Our Vanishing Wildlife. Now when we left off in Chapter 7, we learned about this concept of shifting baselines, how people sort of assess nature according to the baselines they grew up with. And at the very end, we were introduced to Dr. Powell, who's sort of this cynical, negative guy, doesn't have a lot of faith in the ability of humans to protect a species like the Lang's metal mark or something else that's endangered. So today in Chapter 8, you're going to be moving on to a chapter that's really also historical, similar to Chapter 7, but really brings in some new facets. So you're going to be reading about some examples of how wildlife has changed, how the number of sea turtles in the Caribbean has really plummeted, how the number of passenger pigeons in America has really plummeted, how the bison, the buffalo in the western United States have really gone off a cliff. And all of that is to say that the baseline we grew up with for what is natural and what is nature is not really accurate. It's not really true. There used to be a lot more wild animals, and that's part of the problem when it comes to protecting endangered species, is you have to figure out which ones are worth protecting and which ones are really in danger, because in the big picture, the truth is that sort of all of them are. Halfway through the chapter, we're introduced to this new character, William Temple Hornaday, this very strange guy who lived in the 1800s, wanted to protect endangered species, wrote a book about it called Our Vanishing Wildlife. So you're going to hear about him again and again. He's a very strange guy. And then at the end of the chapter, we sort of get back to the modern day. What's going on at the Antioch Dunes, how the Endangered Species Act, that law that we learned about in Section 1, really owes a lot to Hornaday and his views and his writing. And then the chapter ends with the introduction of a new character who ends up being very important, a scientist named Jana Johnson. She's one of the scientists that's actually doing work on the Lang's metal mark butterfly, and she's going to show up again and again in Section 2. So enjoy Chapter 8. It's a bit of history, and then it brings back the modern day at the end. Happy reading.